Hi, everyone. My name is Kuval, and I have the pleasure of serving and representing the Anderson Real Estate Group in Long Beach, California. Let's dive in. If the topic of today is the activity plan for 150,000 in GCI. If you're not hitting your number, whether it's 150,000, 200,000, 300,000, or beyond, it all boils down to one thing, and it's not your leads, it's your standards. This isn't going to be a talk about time blocking, so don't worry about that. I'm sure you've heard a bunch of those. This is going to be a different type of message, an activity-based message and how to help you plan and execute to achieve your income level, whether it's 150K GCI or beyond. So let's dive in. I have 3 requests for today. As you're watching this, I'd love for you to take action today, not tomorrow. It's a principle that I live by, massive action, TNT. TNT means today, not tomorrow. So as you're watching this and taking your notes, write TNT at the top of your page. And then I want you to pick 3 things from this message on to take action on as soon as this message is over and as soon as you're back on with the rest of your day. So the reason I'm wanting you to write this down is because information without action changes nothing. Okay? Information without action changes nothing. So let's go. Before we jump into the agenda of what we'll cover today, there's 2 things that I want to clarify. The first is GCI versus NCI. You as a real estate agent are an independent business owner, and GCI is your revenue. That's top line. That is the biggest thing that you can directly control. It's the commission that you charge. And second, let's define what standard means compared to a goal. A standard means prioritizing non-negotiable habits and operational behaviors, which is the process, over distant outcome-driven targets, which are the results. While goals are future-oriented destinations, standards are the process. Standards are consistent actions, like exercising 3 times a week, for example. Those actions are what define the results. And now as we continue, during this conversation today, we'll cover a few things. The first is why agents are stuck. And we'll dig into the identity and belief, which is the decision train next. We'll define what weekly standards are and how they are not considered goals. And some of us, we're going to call some people out today on falling into the classic busyness versus business trap, which is the last part of the first section of the agenda. And then we'll chat about focus and priority, and we'll finish with lead levers. So how to actually achieve your goals of gross commission income, whatever that number is going to be. Now, as you're thinking about this conversation, as you're watching this, I want you to think, how many of you feel like you know what to do, but you're just not doing it consistently enough? Most agents think that they need a new plan, they need new scripts, they need new leads or better timing, better this, better that, different team, different brokerage, et cetera, et cetera. But what's stopping most agents is just that they don't follow their plan long enough to succeed. They start something, they stop something, they faff about, then they start something new again, they stop after 4 weeks and they restart with something else. And none of that work compounds, which is why 99% of agents are on this emotional, mental, and financial roller coaster that looks like this. And I'm sure most people watching might be able to relate to this. As we dive in, some context on me so you know where this is coming from. My name is Kuval, and it's an honor to be able to be presenting today. I am still an agent, and I also lead growth and development for the Anderson Real Estate Group. I have been in sales and sales management was in sales and sales management for Cutco for many years, the knives. And so I have a little bit of background in sales and sales management. In my first year in real estate, here's what it looked like. I had 3 closings in my first 9 months, but it wasn't consistent, like 1 every 3 months. My first transaction came in my first month. My second transaction came in my 6th month. And then my third transaction came in my 8th month. And then to finish the year, I had 11 closings in the last few months of the year. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's incredible. What did you change? What leads did you get? What did you do? What did you pay for? What systems did you join? really the biggest thing that changed was my standards. Now we're fast forwarding into 2026. And last year in 2025, I helped a small group of agents within our team close over 115 transactions, new agents to the business, been licensed for less than 2 years, 3 years, I should say. And I'm not just helping agents succeed, but I'm also working with clients myself. In the last 9 weeks now, I've brought 5 listings to market, and we're bringing a 6th to market soon. So I'm living in the same market as everybody else. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of today. This is the first section. You're not far off, the decision train, and then busyness versus business. You are not far off. Most agents feel like they are far away, or they feel like their goal is a stretch, but really they aren't. What if achieving your goal was the difference between doing 1 conversation today versus 2 conversations a day, or 1 appointment this week versus 2 appointments this week? What would that change for you? It's the small, consistent actions that will create big results. And your standards create consistent action. And just remember that you're not far off. Now, most people, when results are off, what do they usually try to fix first? Most people would say my actions, or I need to take more action, but that really isn't where it starts. This is what an average agent's day looks like. They start with feelings, and their feelings dictate their actions, their actates dictate their decisions, and then their decisions dictate their results. So if you wake up feeling stressed and frustrated and unsure, what do you think your actions will look like? You're going to avoid the hard. You're going to stay busy without getting any productive results. And then you'll say things to yourself like, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll figure it out tomorrow. So you need to do what top agents do. And what top agents do is so significantly different, but the actual action is so small. They don't wait to feel good. They decide first. Their decisions dictate their actions. Their actions then dictate their feelings, and their feelings help dictate their results. They decide that I will hit my number this week no matter what. They decide I'm going to ask for the appointment. They decide I will track my numbers. And then their actions follow that. Then their feelings follow that. Most agents wait until they feel ready. But you will never feel ready, because being ready isn't a feeling. Being ready is a decision. If your actions depend on how you feel, how do you think your results will look at the end of the day? Inconsistent is the answer. Now, this is the trap of busyness versus business. I'm sure you may have seen something or heard something like this before. Have you ever had a day where the entire day was busy, but at the end of the day, you realized that you made no progress or very minimal progress towards your goal? I know I've had those days. I still have those days sometimes. Busyness with a Y, busyness, feels productive, but it's not the same as building a business. So if we were to make this simpler and boil it down, it's what do we think most agents spend their daytime doing? Most agents that are in this trap of busyness spend their daytime from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. organizing their CRM, adjusting their scripts that they already adjusted yesterday, making small talk with agents that they might be friends with or might be at the office with, or getting ready to do whatever the action is. But none of those 3 or 4 things help make money. It feels good because it feels like progress, but it's safe work. So the question is, what actually makes you money? It's 2 things: conversations and appointments. And that's it. Many agents are stuck because they're optimizing for the wrong things. So the question isn't, am I working hard? The question is, am I doing things that actually produce income? Because if you're not, or if your answer to that question is I'm not, then you're not building a business. You're just staying busy. So now the question is, how do you fix it? There are 3 things that we'll go over here. The first is the activity calculator. Now, as you are watching this, I want you to think, what happens when you actually know your numbers? You don't have to guess. You have the right focuses, you can prioritize, and everything you agree to or say no to should align with those focuses, should align with those numbers and those goals. So here's what you should be focused on. Every single day, how many conversations did you have with a consumer about buying or selling real estate? Number 2, weekly. How many conversations have you held And number 3, monthly, how many contracts have you signed, whether it's contracts with buyers or contracts with sellers. Daily conversations, weekly appointments held, and monthly contracts signed. So the question now is there room to further optimize your schedule and your calendar to focus on doing more and tracking these specific metrics? Let's break down this calculator that we'll give you here just by watching this recording. This is exactly what this calculator will show you exactly what you need to do to produce the results that you want. When you get this link, you'll be asked to make a copy. Oh, you can't see it here. There we go. When you get onto this link, you'll be asked to make a copy. When you make your own copy, you'll be brought to this Google Sheet. This Google Sheet has a few different components to it. The first, at the top here, are the metrics to strive for. When you think about how you can performance manage your metrics to optimize and maximize the work that you do, this is what you want to aim for. Every 10 calls you make, you want to have at least one conversation. Every 5 conversations you have, you want to set one appointment. Now, these are 2 separate lines because if you maybe aren't making as many calls, but you are doing open houses, every 5 conversations you have during your open houses, you want to set one appointment. Every 3 appointments you set, you want to have at least one held appointment, assuming one will reschedule, one might cancel, one will complete. After 2 held appointments, you want to have one signed client. And after 2 signed clients, you want to create one closing. These are averages, metrics to strive for. So as you continue to performance manage yourself and understand where you're at compared to what you could be doing, use these numbers as the benchmarks. Now remember, every single day, you want to be focused on conversations. Every single week, you want to be focused on the appointments that you held. And every single month, you want to be focused on signed agreements. Now, to use this calculator, you're only going to edit these yellow boxes. Okay, so these 2 here and these 2 below. The output from this Google Sheet will show you exactly what you need to do every month, every week, and every day. So let's say that your average sales price is $350,000. Your average commission is 3%. The average gross commission check is $10,500. Let's say, as of today's date, there's 216 days left in the year, and your income goal is $150,000. And let's say your average commission check, maybe after you're split with your team, might be $5,000 even. We'll just use a 50-50 split as average. So we know for the remainder of this year, you need to have 30 closings. For the remainder of this year, you want to have 5 signed agreements every month, at least 2 appointments held every week, and at least 8 conversations per day. Now, these might be tweaked based on your goals, and this calculator could be updated with your goals, and you'll be able to know exactly what you need to accomplish every single day, week, and month to be able to hit your goal. So make sure to get that calculator and save it. If you have a mix of different prospecting sources like I did when I did open houses and I did a lot of prospecting calls, which is outbound calls to generate new business. My brain wasn't able to connect the dots between if I made X number of calls or did X number of open houses, how do I plan for it and vice versa? So here's a very simple formula. If your brain works like mine, 100 calls per day should be the target, which is 500 calls per week. For every event that you complete, you want to subtract 25 calls from your weekly total. So now the question is, what counts as an event? You can make whatever you want count as an event. The 4 things I've listed here are the initial tour, when you're meeting with a new client to potentially show a home, when you're meeting with a potential home seller for a listing, meeting with a potential home buyer, or holding an open house. These are all events. So if you do 4 events, you do 1 of each during the week, the total amount of calls that you'll make will be 400 instead of 500. And that's just how your brain can connect the dots between your different prospecting sources. The goal is to have at least 3 to 5 legit conversations per day. And by doing this consistently, it consistently will support a 6-figure net income. Now down below, a hobby means you work when it feels good, whereas a business is you work even when it doesn't feel good. Businesses follow daily standards, does the boring, uncomfortable work, measures every KPI, and then adjust your strategy instead of making excuses. And the agents who treat their business like a business make exponentially more money than agents who treat it like a hobby. Now, as you start to wind down lead levers, the question is, do you need more leads or do you need more consistency? It's more consistency. There are so many options to build our business. I would recommend you pick a maximum of 3 different lead levers. These are 4 major buckets of leads, and feel free to choose 3 of these or even whittle it down to be more niche. Some examples are open houses, prospecting calls, using your sphere of influence, using the pawns if you're on a team, even some inbound leads, like the leads that EXP provides as a brokerage for different programs that you're a part of. Using Zillow leads if you're part of a team that has a Zillow partnership. And you want to pick a maximum of 3 and create a strategy around that lever that you can then take action on. So for example, for open houses, when are you doing open houses each month? When are you looking for open houses to do? How many doors will you knock around that open house? How many neighbors will you call before the open house starts to invite? Pick a maximum of 3, only 3, and build your plan around each 3. When I first started, here's what my week looked like. Now, please do not take this as Bible, as you might say. Take this and just adapt it to your life, adapt it to your numbers, adapt it to what makes the most sense for you. If you have kids, if you go on vacation, if you are only working 4 days a week, you're able to adjust this for whatever makes sense for you. For me though, when I first got started in real estate, I was able to do work as much as I could. I didn't need to worry about much else. So I was making my calls Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 every single day, Monday through Friday. Nothing got in the way of my prospecting time. From 10 to 11, I was doing my admin. From 11 to 12, I was doing meetings. And from 1 to 7, I was always out of the office doing appointments. But here's the thing. If I didn't have appointments, I would be making more calls. I would not just be having a free couple of hours. I would either be on appointments or making calls, previewing homes or making calls, meeting buyers and sellers or making calls. And every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I would put my open house signs out early in the morning. I would do appointments in between and then start my open houses at noon every single Saturday and Sunday. Now my standards changed, going back to the very beginning slide. When I first started in real estate, my first 8 months, I had 3 transactions. From those first 8 months, it was around July, so about 7 months in to my real estate career that year, that I decided I was going to make a change and commit to the activity that I needed to do based on everything that I had learned. So this, what you see on the screen here, was my schedule for months, many, many months. And that's how I ended up ending the year with 11 closings when I started the first 8 months with only 3. It's important to keep it simple. I did not change this plan every week. I stuck to it to build momentum. Momentum, it's the hardest thing to generate and it's the easiest thing to lose. Hardest thing to generate and the easiest thing to lose. So to close out, remember, you do not need new. You do not need better. You need to know your activity metrics and have standards. And you need to treat those standards as standards. You need to raise your standards. And if you haven't yet written down your 3 action steps, do that now and start today. Because nothing's going to change until your actions do. Thank you.